Okay, let's come back to time management hell. We have a dice of 1. We need to do this 3 more times, and we need time there. Not to mention this freaking thing has to be done 3 more times. Oh no, sorry. It has to be done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times. Okay, just you thought it was easy. The aviary, I don't care. Let it be. Mushroom groves, nothing doing. Stacks. So that's the other two things. It's water and food that these people need, and apparently I have to provide for them because like I have got nothing of my own going on. To get Briar's hold, it needs food, water, and components. I already got components. Eshe will take what you get. And then here, let's not forget, we still need to get a tug escort. Still need to get a blind spot. And still need to slice some thrusters. Let's slice thrusters. Neutral. Use the cramped access way to get it under a tug being repaired and cut away one of its thruster sets, but they notice it is missing. I need to do this 4 times. I need minimum 4 dice here. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice here. Bro, you're lost it. You've lost it. You have lost it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bro, I don't have so many dice. Are you mad? Because I only get 1 per. Bro, this is dumb. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Best case scenario. I need 12. That's it. 3 days. That's how many? If 6. This is by the way if everything goes well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I need 3 days worth of time just to get these 3. Do I have that? How many days do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days, huh? I'm sure that's very possible. In stupidity. If only I was not doing this. If I was only working on this thing, I could have done it. But I am also working on this shitty thing. Patch sales and rigged and ready. But I need scrap to heal myself, but I'm gonna lose a fucking dice. And that's just loss right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 2 of these will fix it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna spend money. I need to only spend 2 dice here to complete this. I need to do it. Because this is like not DLC, this is like normal content. Okay, thank god. Buy them out of scrap. Then we'll use this damn scrap to fix me up. There you go. Come over here. Wait, what the hell happened? They gave me a ship mine fragment. Well, you lost your mind. I don't want this. What am I gonna do with this shit? You know how much it's 6-7 days before that comes in and I earn more money. I also need picked up food, bro. Spiced fungus. Here we go. There you go. Gets the energy up. And I'm gonna start self-repairing. Can only do it twice. Because apparently they didn't have scrap, they just gave me a fucking ship mine fragment. It would have been insane a while ago, but now it's just annoying because I need scrap. That's some good dice. Say what you want to say about everything else going on. That is some primo dice right there. And I'm gonna use it. You guessed it. I'm gonna use it up here. I should do this though, because this can give me scrap, but it doesn't work as well, so I'm not gonna. Delicately spin the spur, unwinding the sailcloth without it tearing. Bliss thumps you on the arm. She's impressed. She better be freaking impressed. Tower's vector experimental sail deployment failed horribly. Now its mass solar sails need to be repaired. Well, they are repaired. The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore, and aching idiots. Sleeper, that was incredible. She punches you in the arm. I never thought we were going to make it. Those idiots tangled the whole thing up like nothing I've ever seen. We make a good team. Bliss smiles a winning smile. As the lock's inner door clunks open, Moritz gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for good reason. Moritz has been the one ferrying tools and parts back and forth from the ship. His tired smile tells you he's glad it's done. Sleeper, Bliss, he shakes his head, impressive. When I saw that ship come in, I thought there was no way. Why, thank you, Moritz, she winks, for believing in us. Moritz rolls his eyes. You know what I mean. Take the compliment. He shoulders some of the gear that came back in with you and Bliss and heads to the racks to stow it. Bliss turns to you. I think you should be the one to be honest. She nods to the ragged-looking console that Moritz assembled. I don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see she is genuinely nervous. Don't worry. I'll stop worrying when the chits are in my hands and I'm giving them to a gimbal bartender. You glide over to the console and check the screen. It takes a second to see what you are doing through the flickering, cracked display, but after a moment you see the accounts. And there it is, almost 1,000 in cryo, sat in the base transfer account. Well, Bliss calls, have we been screwed again? He did it! Bliss kicks off from the floor and spins up into the bay, shouting as she does. The noise takes Moritz by surprise and he knocks a rack of parts, scattering handfuls of metal fixings across the bay. The sight is something. Glinting steel catching the work like secretary. 1,000? Am I gonna get 500 from this? Sorry, says Bliss, grinning. When she comes back down, I needed that. She kicks off and joins you at the terminal. Moritz even managed to sell that produce. We made a tidy profit, eventually. She laughs. Here. She loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo to them. This is your cut. Bliss hands you the chits. Thank you for believing in this place. She looks away and smiles, even when I couldn't. When you first met me, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push. But now this place is sparkling again. Work is coming in, there are funds in the accounts, even Moritz has a spring in his step. You both look over at him, happily racking up tools. That's because of you. She punches you on the arm. He likes you. He's a good kid. He isn't bad, is he? She leans in closer. You know, he came here looking to rob the place. I gave him a job instead. She laughs. Don't tell him I told you that. I just thought it might help you to understand the kid. Moritz turns to look at you, but both Bliss and you awkwardly wave. Maybe it's time to change the subject. You gonna be okay? Me? Always. She looks away. From here on out, it's going to be a little easier. I'm going to look for some component contract stuff that will keep us inside the bay, not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. You want to cash out? That's fine, but there will always be work for you here when you need it. I'll be back. She smiles and then out of nowhere quickly gives you a hug. She steps back and glances around reflexively. Take care, she says softly. You too. You turn to leave. And Sleeper? Yes? She smiles. Don't spend that all at once. How much is it? It's not 500. What the hell, bro? I thought I would get 500. Anyway, let's become hard to kill. I don't really care about hard to kill though. I would rather get +1 on the other things. I'll wait. What's up here? One last job. Moritz has heard Blitz speaking with someone remotely. Is there another job coming in? I can always do component repair. That gives a lot of money. The bay is taking on low-scale repair contracts now. Moritz is happy to offload some of the work to you. Yeah, well, I'm not happy because I gotta freaking save a whole planet full of people, apparently. To do that, I'm gonna need like insane stuff. Should I even care about this? That's my question. Like, screw this. I can at least make sure the plan works first, right? Go to the freaking hangar and... Can I have a +2 here? Maybe do something else? Yeah, only a +1. Bro, why would you... Sometimes the thing just becomes small. Tug escort. With division drive among the crews, getting support from supply shipments will just be a case of picking the right crew. You notice a crew sat apart from the others. Apparently they have been discussing some smuggling supplies to the cordon themselves. A crew willing to escort the briar. Is there one that gives me something though? This is interface. I mean, this is engineer, so that will give me scrap if I do it right. But let's keep working on this. Notice the crews had apart from the others. Apparently, they have been discussing smuggling supplies to the cordon themselves. And you know what? Let's do another one of these. It's an engineering one, so positive outcome. We managed to hit the hangar during a shift change, and the whole place is empty. You come away with the thrusters set with little effort. Thrusters set with little effort. Alright, and we are flush with cash. But I don't know any way we can buy scrap from though. I can buy a fucking core. If I've lost my mind. Steal a shipment, get some random items, maybe some scrap in there. Or I could spend dice, but I refuse to spend dice for scrap. Because like those dice are like very important. Anyway, I'm flush with cash now. Contract paid off, obviously. I'll feed this tray. And the cycle, keep it going. Keep making cash money, man. Day, new life, good dice. Okay. Immediately head over. The last job, honestly, the last job can wait. Please tell me it will. I should at least do a little bit here. That we have enough food next time we are here. We work carefully and attentively. I managed to maximize the yield of stacks with little or no wastage. Then to put 2 more dice. I can just finish this right now, but I don't care about that. We have dangerously little time here. We need to like get going immediately. Not this. This you can put this in here. That becomes a 5. Managed to hit the hangar during a shift change. The whole place is empty, I should say. On leave. Doesn't make any sense. Managed to hit the hangar. Boom. So I can finish this with 1 dice. That's good. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll keep looking for a crew to help us get across. And a 4. Honestly, we'll put it here. That becomes a 6 and lets us finish off here. You managed to hit the hangar during a shift change. Whole place is empty. Kind of thruster tugs used to give the Briar improved maneuvering, useful in the cramped quarters of the flotilla. Hello, Picky. Picky grins as you pile the ion thruster sets onto the motorized trolley in a derelict loading bay. I borrowed this from Ish. I barely know how it works. They seem giddy at the idea of stealing the ship parts from her ranch. I thought you worked for XPR. I did, but not as a repair tech. They help you heave the thruster into position. My specialty was computer systems. I mostly worked on keeping the protocols that ran the refueling platforms from totally decaying due to lack of use. There's a load of platforms in orbit of the moon Hawthorne is on, and Cinder itself. Ish and I ended up having to head out to them regularly to work on them. Sounds technical. Peak smiles. That was the best job at Hawthorne. You get assigned a ship, you get to leave the colony for a bit. So much better than outpost maintenance or canteen work. The only reason we got assigned it was that Ish's mother is in the administration of Hawthorne, and Ish managed to get my name on the list too. Peak looks for the trolley's ignition. Ish is always saving me. They find the switch and hit it, and the trolley starts whining. Peak looks at the thrusters. Ish will install these, and the Briar is her baby, really. Peak looks towards the bay exit. Truth be told, I was surprised she could bring herself to take it from her mother. Losing a ship, that has to have hurt the colony. How many ships did Hawthorne have? 4. Well, 3 now that the climbing Briar is gone. Peak tucks their hair behind the ear. 1 barely runs, so I imagine they'll have to reduce the number of fuel platforms they can actively maintain. Peak frowns for a second and then shakes their head. Anyway, screw 'em. Peak shuffles the trolley out of the bay into the corridor. They'll manage without the Briar. No choice. Peak smiles, and I have to admit I'd love to have seen her face when she saw we had gone. Peak pauses. Don't tell Ish that. They walk on quietly, lost in their memories of Hawthorne. Okay, I think I can manage the rest. Peak brushes their hair out of their face. You've done more than enough for this cycle. No I have not, by the way. Peak looks over the thrusters. Once these are fitted, the Briar will handle better than ever. You might even get a thank you from Ish. Peak laughs. They head off into the corridor, the trolley whining its high-pitched whine. See you soon. Right, so this is just done now. You have the two thruster sets. I just needed 2. Needed to upgrade the Briar. This should add some vital maneuvering to the big ship. Bro, I got a lot more than 2, by the way. So I still need 6. 7, 8, 9. I still need 9. That's almost 2 full days of work here. So clunk, clunk. I'll have 2 days then to finish whatever I can here. That means food will be done. Then I'll have 4 dice to put into this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You piece of garbage. I'll be 1 away. I'll be 1 away if everything goes well. What the hell, bro? All I ever wanted was to perfect it. And I can't even do that. Self-repair me. I should have eaten. I'll eat tomorrow. It's fine. No need to eat every single day. Come on, I'm a damn robot. Oh, what is this garbage, bro? Look at these rolls. Oh, what? Drone messenger. A rapid burst of movement catches your attention. A drone. It spins adjusting as it hovers in place, floats in the corridor. Hello? The drone shifts a little but does not respond. The drone buzzes closer and a voice gurgles out of its speaker, distorted and strange. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. Who is this? The drone clicks and whirs and the recording starts playing again. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. Inspect the drone. We move closer and the drone bobs away to a safe distance. But as it does, you see the HA of Avanch emblazoned on its side. Could this be Feng's drone? Satisfied it has delivered its message, the drone rotates and accelerates away as rapidly as it arrives. You stare at it as it disappears from sight, hoping for some insight that escapes you. To the cordon then. Well, first of all, we go to the food mart and eat. Need fuel to work these brains, which are not very good today, but you know, it's fine. It'll work. It'll do for now. What's up? Unknown. Please help me with this stuff. As you enter the passage that leads to the cordon, a flash of movement catches your eye. The drone. It stops to make sure you've seen it and then flits into a side passage, leading to a set of narrow stairs. You climb up through a dark shaft, the drone stopping at each landing to check you are following. Despite its lack of expression, there's something overbearing about the way the drone waits, impatiently realigning its fins in sequence. After a long climb, you come out onto an observation platform. The cordon and the vast ramshackle refugee ships beyond fill your vision. The scale seems impossible and immediately you feel small and naive for even thinking you could affect the situation. Something shifts nearby. The drone again? Helene. Frustrated Harvan's counselor. Can you help me with this? I am 1 dice short. A woman is standing at the window at the edge of your vision. You aren't surprised you didn't notice her. She too seems impossibly small in the shadow of the flotilla. The drone buzzes by her shoulder and she turns. Sleeper, sorry for all this cloak and dagger nonsense. She nods at the drone, but I have never regretted being cautious. She smiles a tight smile and holds out a hand. I am Helene. I'll shake her hand. The tight smile holds, but the drone keeps its single eye fixed on you. The effect is a little unnerving. Look. She glances around the empty observation deck as if checking for potential eavesdroppers. Let's be straight with each other. I know about your plans and... She cuts in before you can respond. I understand your motives. You look at her in her overalls, the yellow markers, the HA sigil. You have been on the eye long enough to recognize a Havanch member when you see them. You are Havanch. Yes, I mean, I expect that is obvious. The tight smile again. I hope you won't hold that against me. She glances around nervously again and moves a little closer. This entire situation, I am not here to defend it. She glances back at the flotilla. No one is happy about this. Especially not the refugees. She sighs, I am not your enemy here, no matter what you think. She pauses. Sleeper, tell me something. What does Harvanch mean to you? A work in progress. She smiles. Fair, I think. Harvanch is used to being criticized. In some ways we invite it. Our members are free to bring up grievances at any meeting, to propose new structures and approaches. She shifts her weight impatiently. As a councillor, it is my duty to listen to them. That is why I was elected by the members. We are an imperfect system, yes, and each councillor, each member, each representative can be flawed and worse. She looks down, but we keep this place running. That is what we do. And the flotilla? She turns and looks out at the clump of fractured ships. The flotilla is a problem. Can the eye take in thousands of refugees safely? I don't know. This place is a ruin, Sleeper. What do you think the council discusses? The price of Girol. We make plans to keep this place spinning, to keep life support working, to ensure... Helene's slate chirps and a grim look passes across her face as she sees the notification. She looks tired, the screen light casting her rigid expression in a pale glow. Sleeper, I didn't bring you here to explain how Havange works. I came here to talk about your plan to cross the cordon, breach the quarantine and supply the flotilla. She looks directly at you. Say nothing. I know you think you are helping the flotilla, but you cannot do this. Right now, halfway along the ring, one of a countless series of debates are being held. These debates are to evaluate the potential harm that could be caused if the refugees of the flotilla are left to enter the station. These debates are at a standstill. Helene walks to the window. Too many in the Havange Council think of the flotilla as a threat. After recent events, a hardline group has emerged. Protective, selfish. They seek only to benefit the members. In their mind, the flotilla is a danger to life on the eye. They don't want to let them in. If you are caught crossing the cordon and breaching the quarantine, it will only strengthen the hardline councillor's case. Criminals who stole the ship from XPR, undermining the security of the station. She shakes her head. It's exactly what they want. The refugees need supplies. They do, and that's exactly what I want to give them. But unless the quarantine is lifted through a fair process, they will never get them. She sighs deeply. And those XRP spacers you are running with, Sleeper, do you know anything about them? More than I know about you. She looks at you pleadingly. Let's change that, Sleeper. Why do you think the refugee flotilla came here now? Something is happening in the system. Something is pushing people out of the colonies and outposts that have survived since Solheim collapsed. We need to be ready for whatever is coming, ready to protect the Eye. I know the eye means something to you. I know there's a reason you are still here. Help me protect it. Eileen fixes you with a strong look. Persuade those spacers that this is the wrong move, and that they will get caught and the flotilla will be locked down. That Havange will be delivered into those with the worst instincts. Forget this suicidal supply run with people you barely know. Help me fight for the eye. Why don't you stop them? If I expose the plan, it's the same as if it goes ahead and they are caught. Every way I look at it, the eye looks compromised. The quarantine justified. The hardliners get their scapegoat. Don't offer up the excuse the hardliners need to lock the flotilla out altogether. To persuade the members, they are the safest pair of hands. She looks at you imploringly. Please, why don't you help me instead so we don't get caught? You look back at her and the flotilla behind and sense a desperation in her plea. A notification breaks the silence. Shit, she rapidly scrolls through pages of data. Sleeper, I need to go. She looks torn. Think about this, please. Talk to the spacers and help them see reason. And she quickly leaves the observation deck before you have time to respond. You stay for a moment, watching the lights of the tugs in the flotilla, and wonder what it feels like to be on one of those ships, so close to your destination and yet so far from it. And then you think of the Havange Council chamber across the eye, where the right of these people to find safety is being debated. You shiver, and then you too are gone, back into the stairwell and the cold dark below. Peak will need you to scope out and execute a safe path. Greenway, flotilla aid, helper experiments. So can I just talk to them, tell them don't do this? Nope. Not how it works apparently. Alright, well I'll keep working here. This is Intuit +1. This is interface +2, right? Yeah, so this will be fine here. Try to find a blind spot. Good enough. Put the files in Intuit. Try and get ourselves a tug escort. One more, that should be done tomorrow. This is already done. So we have thrusters, we about to have an escort. Sabotage the cordon system should create a sensor cap allow the Briar to bypass the automatic quarantine system. Carefully code a timed emergency maintenance program to take out some of the sensors on the cycle Ash is planning to make her run. We'll put this in here too. That's a 5, should be fine. Neutral, blind spot but suspicion goes up. It takes a long time to work your way through the access protocols, leaving you a limited amount of time to cover your tracks. Great. That's fine, but I cannot afford to waste any dice in covering my tracks or whatever you want to call it. It's not. It doesn't work like that. It will not work like that. What do you want? Oh, I just bought scrap. Did I just buy scrap? I thought I bought scrap last time. I don't know. I don't need fungus right now. I need to sleep. I feed the damn cat. I don't know. I'll feed him again. Here you go, cat. Have some dinner. Then I'll sit. Shit! No! I lost a fucking dice, didn't I? No, this kills me. This kills me right now. I'm dead. I'm literally dead. Ugh. What? Sleeper, Peak is waiting for you when you leave, but they look different. Pale, drawn out. You need to come up to the briar now. They don't meet your eye. What's happened? Not here, Peak hisses. Come to the ship. We'll be waiting. Peak walks away. Don't take long. And with that, they disappear around the corner, leaving you anxious and confused. Bro, I'm flickering. I don't have the dice to do this. I need scrap, but no one apparently sells scrap here. What the hell is wrong with you? As you walk into the climbing briar's cavernous bay, now filled with crates and containers, Ash is waiting for you. In front of her, sliced open, with its insides scattered across the top of a heavy-duty crate, is an object you recognize, Helene's drone. You freeze. Come in, quick. Peak nudges you into the bay, looking behind you before sealing the entryway. We have to start being careful. You move closer to the container, your eyes on the drone splayed out in pieces, some parts of it hooked up to a slate that Peak picks up and begins tapping away at. Each looks up from the dissection. We caught it buzzing around nearby, heading for the ship. She leans over and taps the HA sigil on one of the removed pieces of plating. It's a Havan spy. We think we got it before it sent data back, but we can't be sure. Peak looks at you nervously. Ish cuts in. Have you noticed anyone watching you? Any drones like this? Anyone following you up to the briar? Yeah, I've seen this drone. Ish frowns. Following you? I met its owner. Ish pauses for a while, Peak looking between the two of you. Explain, Seeper. Ish says quietly, I'll tell them about meeting Helene. You explain that you met with Helene at the cordon, and you tell Ish and Peak about what she told you, that the Havanch Council are debating lifting the quarantine, but they are blocked by the hardliners. You speak faster and faster, but before you can finish, Ish walks away in anger and then comes back again, her eyes burning. What is this, Sleeper? Have you understood nothing from what we've told you? She paces in front of you. Havans are not your friends, they are administrators, which means they are interested only in their own power, their own survival, their own causes. They divide people as easily as sorting livestock. The greater good of their work demands it. The wider project of the station, the colony, the nation. Her eyes are wide as she speaks, her anger barely contained. I didn't have a choice. Peak cuts in. Listen to them, please, Eshe. They are with us. Peak glances between you two. What was the sleeper supposed to do? They were ambushed by this Helene. I only listened. Let me tell you something, Sleeper, Ash says, her rage hardening into pain. When people become administrators, they give up something. Some part of being human, being an equal among others, goes away. They start talking about the greater good, the systems, the ways in which their hands are tied or their processes compromised. My mother was the administrator of Hawthorne, and I have seen what it did to her. That noble higher calling, it is toxic. People should never have the chance to decide the fate of others. Then who will? And those that do so at a cost to their humanity. Someone has to do it, right? What the hell are you talking about? Peak tries to cut in, but Ish holds up a hand. Don't start, Peak. Don't ask me to be reasonable or calm down. Thousands of people are desperate out there. Being reasonable will only prolong their suffering. Helene can help. Ish turns away. I'm done with this. You are risking this entire supply run just by being here. She walks back into the bay and starts checking the straps on the crates. I go next cycle. We don't need you anymore. Get out. Sleeper, Peak looks torn. You have to understand, this is personal for Eshi. I know. Peak looks away and then at Eshi. I don't know, Sleeper, I just don't know what to do. You glance around the bay of the briar, the walls seeming closer with every second. This whole thing is closing in on you, and the question is, where do you want to be when it all collapses? You look at Peak. And what do you think, Sleeper? Peak rubs their forehead. Should we do this thing or not? Yes. Peak nods. Okay then. They squeeze your shoulder. Onward. They slip away to help Ish, leaving you alone to replay the conversation in your head. A certain kind of grim determination settling in the room. Last chance to prepare. Are you shitting me? There is no prepare. What do you mean last chance to prepare? We are done. I only lose money for this? Bro, that's fine. Oh, suspicion goes up. You overhear a queue member arguing against the quarantine, but notice listening in, people are getting suspicious. Great. You meet Peak in a corner of the canteen in the typically unassuming way. It occurs to you as you approach that Peak must have had some practice at staying invisible. All good, they look up from their slate. That crew you were talking to. They nod to the group leaving the canteen. Will they join us? They'll do it. Nicely done. Peak beckons for you to follow as they peel off the wall and head out into the walkway overlooking the cordon. Glad you were here to talk them into it. I never had much of a way with people. Peak smiles and looks away quickly as you walk. So why is that? Well, Peak pauses. Maybe it would be more accurate to say people never had much of a way with me. They squint, irritated by their own odd turn of praise. What I mean is people have caused me a lot of trouble. I've had people hate me without knowing a thing about me. They tuck their hair behind an ear. I'm sure you know the feeling. Yeah, I do. He glances at you. Sorry to hear that. It marks you, am I right? I try not to think about it. Peak nods. Don't let me make that any harder. Peak leads you around the corner, heading back to the main cordon accessway. I appreciate you coming in and helping us out on this sleeper. On talking to the crew, and well, you know, maybe after this insane plan is done, we can talk properly. They keep looking ahead, and you realize they are nervous. I'd like that. Peak smiles, looking down at their feet. That's settled then, they say to the floor. I better report the news to Ash. We have ourselves a tug escort. Peak stops at an intersection. See you soon, sleeper, and please take care. And with that, they drift away, their head down, their gait changing as they do. Their practice invisibility shrouding them like a cape. Right. Well, I'm still gonna be able to at least finish all the stuff I need. So, frick you, man. I am one, and I have only a 1. This will make suspicion max. I can't do that. Too risky. I have tomorrow, right? I have tomorrow. And probably, hopefully, the day after that too. But we'll see. I can siphon water, although it will give Havanj alert, maybe. Even if I do this and I get a 1. No, because I can also get a 0. No, it's not worth it. This is engineer. Will work, probably. You tap one of the pipes, but as you do, you see a flashing warning light of sensor. He grimaces. So we need 4 dice, 6 more dice here, bro. It's crazy. It's not happening, man. I'm sorry, but it's just not possible. Especially with my loss of dice now recently, it's crazy. I don't know what to do. But you know what? If we are nearing the end of everything, you know what I might as well do? Pop this pill. I should have done it yesterday, but whatever. It stabilizes me. It's the last I'll ever get. So be it. I need that extra dice if I'm gonna get anything done. I need more than that dice, but what are you gonna do, right? And I could have done it. That's the worst part. I could have done it too. What is this crap, bro? Literal garbage dice. And don't tell me they actually are gonna do it right now, because that would be stupid. I'm so close. Right? No, okay. One more day, then they will do it. 3 will take it to a 5. Probably okay, but I don't know if I should risk it. For a biscuit, perhaps. Or for death. That's not good. This is much safer. Positive outlook. We'll do another one. Please be positive. Positive. And a random scrap item is insanely good. Okay, 2 4s and a 1. 1 is like insanely horrible, but there you go. We have safe passage now. The sensors have been fully sabotaged. We have a tuck crew. We have things. They'll be safe. Peak is waiting for you when you slip out of the operations center, nervously poking at their small slate. Sleeper, they hiss. I followed what you were doing on the network. Incredible work. How do you do that? Comes naturally. Peak smiles. I can't tell if that's modesty or just the truth. Interfacing skills like that, it's almost worth being. They stop themselves. Sorry, I didn't mean. Nothing is worth being a sleeper. Peak nods, unsure what to say. You and Peak quietly slip into the main walkway and work your way back to the public areas of the cordon. Harvanj has had to quickly respond to the flotilla's arrival, and that means a lot of contractors and spacers walking through these corridors. You blend in easily enough. I haven't really met a sleeper before, Peak begins. As you might have guessed, they smile nervously. Hawthorne is an XPR service outpost, and since the collapse, no one came for refueling or repairs anymore. So my generation has never met anyone outside the company. We heard about sleepers. They nod in your direction from the data packets that come through from XPR every once in a while. They usually contain news along with the corporate propaganda. but the reports were light on the details. SNRP have kept the sleeper program pretty quiet anyway, and I think XPR are only interested in telling their employees about it because they made living in our company town look like a good life in comparison to being a piece of corporate property. They freeze. Sorry, again, I don't mean they look down. I'm just not sure how to talk about this stuff. It's okay. Peak smiles, I'll shut up about it now. You walk on a little further, the walkway becoming busier. You both relax a little more and go with the flow of people. I just want to say, I think I understand. They begin again. Clearly, this has been on their mind. I understand the need to escape, to get free of it all. They laugh at themselves. The structures, the systems, the company horizons in a company town. They stare ahead. The small places, small corridors, small people. They look away. The slow death it brings. That's it, they turn to you. I get why you signed up to be a sleeper and why you escaped from that too. Odd. They try to form words, but you try to form words, but you can't. There's altogether too much running through your head. But you look at peaks, and they look at you, and that seems okay for now. You walk in silence again, each of you in their own thoughts, but moving together through space nonetheless. After a while, you come to the entrance to the cordon, where handfuls of workers and crews filter in and out through two huge loading bay doors. Peak stops. Okay, they pause. I'm heading back to the Briar. Once again, incredible work on the sensors. That blind spot you created, that should give us a real advantage. See you soon, they head off, disappearing into the crowd almost immediately, overrunning their own nervousness. So, we are now done, right? You've created a blind spot which will appear on the cycled of Ishi's run. How long it will remain open is yet to be seen. And we have a tuck crew. You have a crew marked out, and they've agreed to escort the Briar to the quarter on a supply mission. So we have an escort, our ship is upgraded, and we have a gap in the net, or whatever you want to call it. Should be all good. I can try the one here to get water, or I can bet it all. If I can get tomorrow's day, bro, to do stuff, that'll be insane. That'll do it basically. I'll try and get this water enough though. Good. Okay, Havan's alert is there, but that's fine. Boom, we got water. Tucked into a service corridor deep below the reservoir, Ash is double checking the seals on the water tanks loaded onto the motorized trolley. Though you are far enough away from any thoroughfares not to worry about being overheard, you both still speak in hushed tones. How will you get those to the Briar? All good? Ish nods silently and hits the ignition on the trolley to start it moving. You take the other side of the trolley and walk it up the wide service corridor with its flickering lights and Solheim detritus. You doubt it gets used by Hervanch, at least that's the hope. You glance across at Ish, her face a mask of determination as she guides the trolley along. Maybe some conversation will make this journey go a little easier. How did you meet Peak? Eshe pauses, a little surprised by your question. She glances back down the tunnel, but in this deserted passage, she can hardly keep up the pretense of silence. We grew up together, she answers quickly and turns back to the trolley, but she can tell you are expecting her to add more. She seems to gather herself for an answer, not wanting to ignore you, but trying instead to get her answer straight in her head. Our outpost, Hawthorne, is not an easy place to grow up. The administrations keep a tight hold of everything. She rolls her eyes, even though they are trapped in the same decaying installations as everyone else. Peak, she pauses. Peak found it harder than most. She pauses again, judging her words. I stepped in to help them out. Silence descends again, but you can feel the wheels turning in Eshe's mind as the creaking wheels of the trolley take you along the corridor. Peak isn't the most practical of people. They used to be, well, they needed someone to teach them to look after themselves, stand up for themselves. That was me, she smiles. After that, I couldn't get rid of them. Ish stops talking, but you see her eyes have lit up, and you imagine she is recalling some moment or other from her and Peak's past. You both reach a wide bulkhead doorway, and you have to stop to shimmy the trolley over the edge. When you are done, Eshe turns to you. I'm good from here, head back. And with that, she is gone, moving off into the dark tunnel ahead. You watch her go and then turn around and walk the distance back to the staircase you entered from, the tunnel humming around you as you do. As you walk, you try to piece together Eshe's past, but all you have are glimpses of a person she once was. She seems to prefer it that way. Okay, so we have water. All we need now is food. If you can give me tomorrow's day, just a few hours, I can get it done. All the supplies in the world are nothing without a plan to get them into the flotilla. That speaks part in this. Flotilla needs food, water, and components. You might not be able to get all of them, but Ish will take what you can get. I could get all of them if you give me a day. All I need is a effing day. You know what? Maybe if I sleep. But my cat. No. I gotta go to my cat, man. My stray cat is there. Can't just leave my cat. Come on. Think I'm some kind of monster? Self-repair. We'll give the stray some dinner. And the cycle, please let me do it. I can do it. It'll be so quick. It is just 2 dice away, man. And it's so bad. Look at all these dice. I can easily do it. We'll feed the stray some more. We'll self-repair a bit. Okay, we're good. No, Peak. She's gone, Sleeper. Peak is breathless and shaking. He started the run without us. Shit. Let's go. If we head to the corridor now, Peak starts back up the corridor. They turn back. She has to make it, Sleeper. She has to. A shiver runs down your spine. Ish. I hope you know what you are doing. No, I could have gotten you food. Peak needed to scope out, prepare for the run. I could have gotten the damn food, man. No! Quarantine. You arrive, frantic and anxious at the cordon. Peak is nowhere to be seen. Then you hear footsteps hammering on the metal stairway Halene's drone led you through before, the one that leads up to the observation deck. You leap up the stairs 2 at a time and make it to the top, momentarily blinded by the light pouring into the observation deck. Sleeper, Peak emerges from the light. I know she's trying to protect me, but what was she thinking? She was always planning this. I know it. They turn away. How could I have not seen it coming? There she is. Peak rushes to the wide window, leaning forward to catch a glimpse of the climbing briar's blue XPR livery against the black of the void. You spot the climbing briar, a glint of blue and white, and beside it the red glare of a tug's lights. The tug crew went with her. Peak smiles. I knew they'd keep their word. That'll help. Peak doesn't seem to hear you, but the idea of the crew backing Eshe makes you smile. Maybe this thing will work. I can't believe I fucking failed the drive. Survive, study the winter light, repay Dragos, pay Ethan's stab, improve overlook, help them work. It's a bean out, Ethan's protection, free Neo Wind. Killer, hunter, crack convoy, build a shipment, build a home. Yeah, I don't know where it is. You watch as the Briar and its tug escort arc down towards the edge of the quadrant, demarcated by the red lights of the perimeter system. So far so good. The Briar will just look like another refugee ship being escorted into the cordon, at least at a glance, but the system is down. Peak grips the rail as Eshe reaches the edge of the cordon, that invisible net of sensors played between ships and drones. Now let's hope the blind spot triggered. You think back to the mess of systems you had to wade through to set it up. The delicate contingencies you set up to trigger the sensor blackout at just the right moment. Without noise, without ceremony, the Briar slides to the cordon. You await the flickering of alarm lights, the swarming of drones, but nothing. Just another cycle, just another ship. Eshe is in. Both you and Peak let out the breath you've been holding and laugh. How'd she do it? Peak smiles, shaking their head. She's good. She certainly is. If a little stubborn, they laugh. You feel a little shaky from the tension, but Peak's ease helps you settle. You imagine Ish steely-eyed in the pilot seat of the Briar, searching for a place to dock. Maybe being stubborn has its advantages. You okay? Me? Peak sighs. I think that took years of my life, but I've got to hand it to Ash. She was right. You and Peak turn back to the window, looking for the Briar again amongst all those hulls. The calm fading as new worries settle in. There's not enough food! We spot the Briar first this time, docking with the largest of the flotilla ships, a vast converted tanker, half of its protective plates removed. You think about the effort it must have taken to get that thing all the way here from the inner system. You watch the Briar, unable to get any sense of progress from its placer exterior. They will be offloading everything now, Peak says, both assuring you and themselves that everything is going to plan. You think of all the supplies loaded onto the Briar and how long the process of unloading them might take. It wasn't everything Ash had wanted, or perhaps everything that the flotilla needed, but it was the best you could do with the time you had. I needed 1 day, I needed 2 dice. You think of the reaction of the refugees, of the welcome and thanks they'll give Ash as the bearer of such gifts. You focus on that as you watch the Briar and continue the nervous wait for it to finish unloading. It's breaking off, Peak points at the Briar, and you see the puff of air and dust that accompanies an emergency depressurization. Eshe must have ended things early, but why? Then you see them, the tugs closing in on the Briar. Avanch must have spotted the ship. You and Peak are up against the window again, watching the Briar building the Briar a safe path out of the flotilla. It's got new engines. Suddenly the Briar shifts in space, a blue blur between two hulls. Peak whistles. Look at that, they smile at you. Looks like those upgrades we did together work. You watch as Ish cuts through the crowded flotilla, the tugs, not daring to follow her dangerous path, and peeling away. It is hard to keep track of the Briar, and suddenly both you and Peak are searching the black for a sign. Where has she gone? Then all of a sudden she is out, blue against the black, pulling away from the cordon on a wide arc back towards the station. A clean run. Peak clears, cheers, and smiles at you. We did it. She's out. They beam uncontrollably at you, the tension released. You find yourself smiling too, smiling at those two beautiful idiots and their beautiful ship. Then Peak is hugging you, squeezing you with all the nervous energy that had been building. Thank you, Sleeper. We did this together. They step back, still smiling. We did something. Come on, they rush out of the observation deck. Let's meet her. Drive complete. One observation point. There. Upgrade point. We put it on into it. There, she's back here. I would have gotten you a damn food if you had just waited. You and Peak rush into the Briar, finding yourselves in the now empty bay. The change is a reminder of what you achieved, and looking around, you feel all the more satisfied. A hiss sounds at the far end of the bay, and Ish enters, looking exhausted. Peak runs up to embrace her, but she sits down on the bay floor before they reach her. What? You did it. They sit beside her. Ish, you were incredible. She smiles, a small smile at them, laying her head on Peak's shoulder. You suddenly feel like you are intruding, seeing the two of them like this, quiet and content. Sleeper, Peak calls. Come on over. You cross the bay and sit beside them on the hard metal floor. Ish, Peak asks again, did you give the flotilla our chairs? Our chairs? They both burst out laughing at the ridiculousness of it all, at the exhaustion and the worry and everything else. You laugh too, but it is impossible not to. After a while, you all come to a stop, Peak wiping their eyes and Ish shaking their head. You would have loved to see it, Sleeper, Ish says quietly, the welcome I got. They came to greet the ship once I docked, to offload the supplies. I told them I was coming, of course, as soon as I got inside the cordon. But there were so many, children, families. They were smiling at me, shaking my hand. Toll was there too, Peak, and he's just as gruff as he sounds over comms, she smiles. They took it all, crate after crate, until the ship was emptied out. Ish looks away. But there were so many, and even with everything we managed to bring, they needed more. They made me promise I would try to come back. Ish, Peak shakes their head. You know we can't do that twice. He stands up. What are we supposed to do? Wait for them to lift the quarantine? She is angry again, that familiar tension rising in her voice. Yeah, if I had gotten the food, maybe this would not have happened. But you could have just waited, lady. Like half an hour, I would have gotten it. Peak tries to pull her back down. Sit, Eshe. Rest. You have done enough for today. Don't peek. I know my limits. He pardons. Okay, well, seeing as they didn't catch you, perhaps they will lift it. They know the flotilla poses no danger now, and if they can account for the extra load on the life support. Ish walks away towards the ladder that leads up into the upper parts of the ship. I need to rest, Peak. She holds up a hand. Sleeper. Then she limps up the ladder step by painful step. I'm afraid if you were expecting a change in Ish's demeanor, Peak smiles at you. It's okay, let her rest. Peak nods. I need some rest too. They put a hand on your shoulder and get up from the floor. We couldn't have done this without you, Sleeper. And I know those in the flotilla would thank you too. Thank you. Peak limps up the ladder too, leaving you alone on the metal floor of the bay. Your thoughts drift to all those people on the flotilla, sleeping and sitting on metal floors like this, children, families, playing in cargo bays and repurposed fuel tanks. You know their story isn't over yet, and you look forward to meeting them. The quarantine will lift, you feel more sure of this fact every moment, and even though you aren't sure why. You lie back on the metal and stare at the ceiling. What was it Feng told you? Erlin said. The eye opens for us all. Maybe the old guy was right. A home for the lost. You like the idea of that. Maybe in time you can help make that a reality. But something is bothering you. A sliver of a thought like a splinter you can't extract. Why are thousands of refugees coming here now? People don't abandon their homes for nothing. What wave is rushing through the system, and when will it reach the eye? You shudder on the cold metal floor and get up. Something is coming. You can feel it. This isn't over. Not over, I'm sure. Enter the greenway. Find a nurturing grow bed and help experiments. Grow club heads for Rico. What is this? The cordon. The first part of the flotilla story is complete. Episode Refuge begins and the cycle clock below is filled. Good luck. What's done is done. Now all you can do is wait to see what happens next. If she had waited, good things would have happened. They would have had enough food. All would be happy. Now everyone is sad because they are like, what the hell, man? You didn't give us enough food. I got them all the water they needed and all the damn supplies the world could ever ask for, but whatever. Club head samples. Wait a minute, I need to go here. Into it. There you go. That'll work. 4, 5, 6. Come on, give me the good stuff. Random rare mushrooms. 1 matsuke, 1 club head. Good. You carefully pick out the best developed calf from the mulch, especially fascinated by the aroma of club-like bodies you discover. Ooh, get some more. 2 random rare. Okay, 1 of each. And give me a re-roll. Bro, that's horrible. Literally, that's terrible. What am I gonna do about this? I don't want any of this. Well, 2 Matsuke caps are nice though. I can sell those. I don't want to go here. What are we talking about? I'll go to the labs though. Hyper labs. You need 3, right? Yeah. Strange, unidentified club-shaped fruiting bodies. Rico is eager to see the club-head calves that have grown in the aviary. She hasn't seen mushrooms like this in decades. Are these fruiting bodies the same that emerged during the early days of the collapse or something else? I guess we'll find out. You hand them over to an eager Rico who immediately begins to work on the samples. There you go, work on some more samples. I'll get you some more later. It'll take a while. Let's go, let's cook up some of these Matsuke caps. I know we can make money, but right now I want to see what happens when you cook. There's the overlook bar. Cook Matsuke caps. Softer touch, you've learned thinly slice and fry them. Ooh, Tala always comes to look when you cook Matsuke, the smell drawing her in. You eat the mushrooms together with a glass of her roll. Well, thank you for the free roll, lady. Always appreciate free roll. And I don't care about this really, that's fine. Still waiting 2 days for this and 2 days for the scrap ship. I have 1 free piece of scrap on me. Is there anything left to do? I have a 1 and a 2. I don't know what to do with it. Nothing doing there. Go to the freaking Tambor Lounge. The repaired unit has nothing really. I have no more medicine either. I can manufacture some noodles. Go to Castor stable. We can... I mean, that's pretty safe, right? Import, export, 3 Matsuke caps. What about you? Are you ready tomorrow or something? Yep, we're ready tomorrow. Okay. We'll descend away. And I guess if there's nothing else, I might as well just work the machines, right? Nothing going on here. I can try, but this is all risky and shit. I'm not interested. Harvesting is safe, but we need to get a good harvest. She just wants Matsuke caps. Hyperdome is a bed. We can sleep here. Here we can get a work assignment. Alright, that means that none of these work. So I'll just go and earn some money with this in a safe job working the midline freight hub. Become a freight operator working interface jobs. Midline's freight systems are a nightmare of stats, raw code and manifest. You just about managed to meet your quota. What happens if I fail my quota though? Nope, neutral again. Alright, well. I mean, I got cash, bro. Like, you don't gotta worry about cash. I got cash. Alright, cat. You're A-okay. End the cycle, move on to the next. Only had a little bit more time with that quest, man. If only I had not given it for like a couple of days more, I would have been fine. Okay, here's some scrap. So fix me up, good. Here's some food. What's up? Moritz, sleeper, long time. Moritz is smiling at you when you leave. Clearly happy to see you again. Moritz, good to see you. Same. He rubs his hands on his jacket. How have you been? Working hard. I bet, he grins. Well, you are always welcome to hang at the bay if you want. He glances around. Actually, that's what I'm here about. I know Bliss said she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind or something. He grins. Because now we have someone looking for a refit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarmed, cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. He leans in. We'll be able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we'll have up there when we're done. He laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job and we need some hands. Bliss said to go get you. So come on up. Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job. He pauses. It will be good to have you up there again. He grins. Like old times. Well, it's not really old times, is it? It's just... is what it is. Okay, let's quickly finish off work here and grab some scrap too. So we can go over here. It's a +1, so we'll make it a 6. Grab some scrappies. There you go, that keeps me alive. We head over to the aviary. And I mean, put the 6 in there. One of each, one of each. No! They only gave me Matsuke caps, what the hell? Okay, that is literal garbage. You know what, but that's not time sensitive, so I'm just gonna not care about that. I don't really want to sell Matsuke caps. How much will I get if I sell all 3 of them? 80 cryo. Bro, that's way more than I get while cooking them. Paz hands you the chits, cheerful as always, and you wonder what kind of margin she is making on this deal. Probably like a big one. Like a very big one. No, that's not that good, but sure. Bliss, ship mechanic, what's up? When you enter the bay, it is weirdly quiet. Moritz must be out on some errand, and maybe Bliss is prepping the kit. Ankita. A stranded mercenary? You didn't look like this. Sleeper, Ankita is drifting at one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in, so she wants to destroy her combat ship. The idea of not seeing Ankita when you entered the room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago, but seeing her without her armor, she seems smaller, less imposing. Ankita. She nods and kicks off from the wall, drifting closer. So what is this? She asks. Come to avenge Ashton or his sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? Her anger is familiar but quieter than before. Restrained. I don't want to fight. Then why are you here? She looks away, and you can tell her anger isn't directed at you in particular. It radiates off her like a fire. You better be ready to sign, comes a shout from the bay entrance. Because I've got my best repair tech coming up here especially. And they are going to... Bliss glides in and suddenly stops herself when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you are already here. Miss Cassetta, this is the tech I was telling you about. Best on the who... She stops, looking between the two of you. Wait, do you two know each other? You and Ankita look at each other. She's a killer? No. We work together. Bliss squints at you before continuing. Bliss produces a slate. Now, Miss Cassetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start on the decommissioning. She looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Ankita scrawls his signature across the slate. Thank you, Bliss pauses. And everything is okay with the special payment terms we discussed? She gives Ankita a strange smile. All fine, says Ankita, giving you another hard look. Then she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says, and leaves. Special payment terms? She looks over her glasses at you. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. What is she so nervous about? This isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Cassetta, I mean Ankita, she gives you a knowing look, doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we made a special agreement. She sighs. He sighs. I'm leaving. You joining a mercenary crew? Don't make me laugh. Ankita is an ex-merc. Why do you think she's getting us to remove all her ship's armaments? Amber. The ship is called Amber. Bliss gives you a funny look. There's some deep history here, huh? He holds up a hand to stop you answering. Look, all I care is that she is heading for the starboard belt. She looks out of the bay. That's where I am headed. She turns back to face you. Also, I wanted to ask, she stops and sure, if you'd like to come with us. I would. Here's another ending. She interrupts before you answer. I know things have been hard for you on the eye, and you helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she'd carry the two of us, and she said yes. Morris will take over the bay anyway, although if you stay, you are welcome to help him run it. I just thought, she sighs, you might be in need of a fresh start as much as I am. He turns away nervously. Think about it anyway. The berth is there, we've got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks before you can offer an answer. Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting torch for the disarming of the ambergris. The starboard belt, you push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. Oh, and it's not time limited. Damaged cutter. Refitting amber plus refitting amber. Ankita wants it all out. Weapons, countermeasures, torpedoes. It would be a risky job if you didn't know amber so well. Refitting amber. Once this job is ready, you better be ready to make a fast decision. Stay with Moritz or go with Ankita and Bliss. I mean, I'll just do both. I'll go first, then I'll stay. Also, if it is not a limited job, I might as well plant spores before I start. Because you know that takes an insane amount of time. Are my ships here? Tomorrow is a big day, okay. I'll be buying up the 2 ship components, making a tidy profit, although, I mean, looking at my money, it's not that I need a profit, but let's just say I'm a rich man now. I don't need no handouts. We go over here, we are insanely good at collecting spores. Boom. We plant the spores in my little garden here. There you go. And now we'll need a couple, like 4 days for this thing to grow. Time to grow and germinate. Then we can go back and work on the ambergris. That is the only other drive. Oh, that's not even a drive. What the hell? I guess that's a potential end point, so there is that, I suppose. Let's start getting some stuff out. Working on amber again is a joy. You know every inch of this hull after all. You've fitted half of it. Yep, we are already halfway done. In a single day. That should tell you something. We'll be done by this tomorrow. Wow, okay, that is pretty freaking insane actually. More than enough food for you, cat. I'm about to get even more very soon. Oh, I'm a damn idiot. I should have eaten something. Ah well, it's fine. I'll be starving, but then I'll eat. And then I'll be fine. Starving. Here you go, cat. Here you go, my own body. Here is this guy. We'll eat something there. Stop us starving out. Okay, we'll head over and grab some crap for the next day. You know how dogs is and all that. Go. Grab some scrap components. How much longer? Okay, tomorrow this is also going to happen. That's a big one. So I'll end the episode at the end of this day. Tomorrow is going to be a big one. But we'll be done working with the ambergris for now, right? Neutral. You move a diffused torpedo warheads into the bay, trying to think about what Ankita used them for. Killing people. And we're done. Refitting amber is ready. Amber looks better than she has ever before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hull, and despite the exterior changes being limited, he has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Moritz drifts by. He has been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. It turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first starboard belt port she hits. But now that Moritz is done, he seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly. You okay, Moritz? What's that? He turns. Oh, right, yeah, packed and stacked. He smiles a weak smile. Was hoping Miss Casata would let me keep a warhead. What do you think of her? Miss Casata? He shrugs. She seems tired and old, like older than she looks. Hey, sleeper, he looks down. Did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him. That is why he is like this. Who is he? Oh, he is like this. I did. He nods distractedly. She said this place is mine. He looks up around the bay like it is suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. You do a great job. He looks down at you. Hey, thanks. He smiles. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believed in me before now. First Bliss, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey sleeper, there was something Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going to? Before you can answer, Ankita glides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulder. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Morris looks at her with a dazed expression. You look at Ankita. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down some place where you will never see them and built a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you imagine most people would think twice before trying to cross her. Well, she looks at you. I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. She sighs, I'll give you a minute, and she kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay where Amber sits docked. You look back at Moritz. I'm going. Moritz looked like he might pass out. I get it. He steels himself. It's the right decision. Thank you. Hey, thank you for working with me these past cycles. He smiles a shaky smile. I learned a lot. Hey, look, he moves a little closer. You've got to find what you need. I did. Bliss. This place. You. This was everything I needed. He sniffs. I was in a bad place and this pulled me out. He looks away. You go find it. Ankita comes back across the bay. The final crate store. You coming then, sleeper? I'm coming. She nods. Well, okay then. Come on over with your things and I'll get you settled. He pauses. I'm sure Amber will be happy to have you. You both glide away from Moritz, his eyes wet, but a smile on his face. He waves as you go, dwarfed by the vast bay, and you hope he will make it, even though you know somehow that he will. Ankita helps you through the lock onto the amber, and the sense of familiarity is overwhelming. You think about all the time you spent working in these corridors, listening to these sounds, they are diagnosing those hisses. Ankita gives you a minute before she speaks. Look, sleeper, I'm not going to go back over everything that happened, she sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me. She stops, unsure of how to proceed. It's okay, the past is done. She nods. She stops. Thank you. I don't know if we can begin again, but we can move on. She sounds pained, tired. As you move off down the corridor towards the berth, she tries again. I don't think it was that I thought the wrong I don't think it was that I thought the wrong things about who or what you are. I think I just didn't think. Of you, I mean. I didn't think about how things might affect you. Hmm. And I realized I have been like that for a long time, focused, stubborn, willing to get the job done at any cost. He pauses. This is hard for her, but you don't want to interrupt. Well, I'm sick of paying the cost. I'm sick of being used as an extension of something bigger, something crueler than me. And having that cruelty, that violence flow through me. I just want to be me for a while. She looks down. Or at least figure out who that is. So not take on horrible jobs that you have to kill people. Yeah. He takes a deep breath. So what I'm saying is that you can get off at the first port we hit in the belt. I wouldn't blame you. It's a smart move, she pauses. Or you can stick around and we'll see if we can find a way to make space for all of us. She looks away, her energy exhausted. Thank you. She nods, nothing else. This is you. She turns you to a small room with a bunk and a porthole to the flickering lights outside. The outside wall is sloped like a roof, and tucked beneath it is a small desk and a terminal. Bliss is next door, though I think she's in the hold right now. She said she wants to make sure the warheads are locked down tight. Akito observes your nervous response. I mean, they are, obviously. She gives you a look. Ankita slips away and you look around the room. You go over to the porthole and place a hand on the wall and feel amber purr. You think you are going to like it here. You stay like that for a while, looking out the porthole, one hand on the wall, feeling the ship. It is through that porthole that you will watch the eye getting smaller and smaller, drowning in the black. At some point it will become so small that you could hold it in between your thumb and index finger, and then it will wink out and you won't be able to see it anymore. It is at that moment you will finally exhale and collapse onto your bunk. In moments you will be asleep, and when you wake up it will be among friends, on your way to somewhere new. And that is an ending! Starboard passage. Set off to the starboard belt with a friend outrunning their shadow. There you go. We got another end. But we know we can always just go back to Moritz. And I will. Plus we have all the DLC stuff to do. And we have whatever uh, things will happen in the ex mushroom stuff. In the green place. Whatever the green way. Whatever it's called. At the you know what I mean, that place. So we still have that to do, plus we have the DLC stuff, and I can continue just making infinite money by buying shipment cores and selling them at a profit. That is pretty good thing to do. Just be a middleman, buy raw materials, make something and sell it. That's like how most companies operate. But yeah, I do love getting all the endings one by one. It is fun. I think I enjoy this game even more now. I think I would give it. I don't know. I mean, the fucking quest. I should not have accepted it. That was a big mistake I made, accepting that quest too early. The fact it caused me a lot of. It cost me like too much time because I was already doing stuff on the sales shit, right? The freaking solar sail ship thing. I just needed like one or two more dice. I could have gotten everything done. Perfect. Send all supplies to the flotilla, whatever they needed. Whatever like she said they needed, but I don't know. They just didn't get much food. They got water, they got supplies, so that's good. And yeah, I can just continue and it'll just kick me back in, right? Right before I made the decision. Yes, I believe. Just got the scrap. I think I was gonna pass and go up, right? That is where I am right now. Ascend to the hub. Okay, I still have to work on this. Alright, that's fine. We'll retrofit it and then we'll not leave. And then we can continue working on the. Fine. I mean, we still have how many points do we need? 2, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 more points. I doubt I'm gonna get all of them, eh? Why are some of these pink and some of these are not pink? Oh, cause like, no. Okay, yeah, cause I've only gotten to the level 1 above them, not the final one. I see. Well, whatever, I want to get +2 in everything, which will make 4s insane. 4s become 6s, so there's that. 1 become 3s, 2 becomes 4s. Oh, sorry. 3 becomes 4, 4 becomes 6. Whatever. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.